There he is. Hello, subs. Thank you, subs. I love all my subs. And I'm hoping that y'all are digging into my playlist. Y'all can probably tell how much I incessantly insist that everybody go to my playlist. I've done wandered off here. This is for y'all, by the way. This video, just hang in there. It's not going to be too long. I promise not going to take too much of your time, but I did want to do this for all of y'all, because this is for y'all. This is y'all's video, because I'm fixing to give you some tips. You're going to get tips on how to maneuver through my playlist and find certain things. I'm going to tell you some of the most shocking things. I'm going to tell you who some of the most important content creators or whistleblowers or journalists or whatever I can think of that are, to me, the most important people over the last 9 years, which literally is, it's got to be considered at least 15 years worth of kind of research, quote unquote, as far as, you know, not being a computer whiz and going and pulling up documents and stuff like Ian Carroll. By the way, go see that Ian Carroll. Some of you nerds out there can probably use that program that his buddy, that I'm assuming is like him, X-Intelligence or whatever, is working on. I think it's in the science and tech. I forget which one. You can go to his channel, Ian Carroll. His videos, if you don't know how to spell his name, there's a bunch of his videos recently in several categories at my channel. But anyway, so I just kind of decided I wanted to do this just so that people can use, because I'm serious about my playlist being a tool. It really is a tool. And you know, people that don't want me talking about certain things like Trump or Bill Clinton or whoever, any number of other people, both in it and inside and outside of government, I'm sorry, but I got that login chain, and at the end of it is my playlist. And just that simple playlist, which is nowhere near, I could double the size of that playlist if I really could remember all the videos that would still be significant that I saw years ago on YouTube. That you know, I was thinking of one last night, and I was trying to find it, and I couldn't figure out how to search it up on YouTube, and I don't use anything but YouTube. So, but anyway, so here it goes. Well, anyway, let's have a little fun first. Well, I'm not. It's fun for me. I'm gonna kind of partake in something real quick. I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but y'all just hang in there for a second, and I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and position the phone like I need to, and we'll proceed in just 1 second. If you'll just hold on, I want to get it just at the right angle that I had it at before. I think that should be just about it. It's pretty close. Yeah, I think that'll do. All right, now hidden over here to my left. Can you see me? Yeah. Where am I at? Yeah. Is there somebody in there? Hold on a minute. What I got to do is I got to just I've got some herbs that I've got to partake in real quick that are good for me, helping with my mental issues. Which really, by the way, wouldn't be a problem if I didn't constantly have to be stressed out for fucking 5 years straight over a fucking traffic ticket, plus speeding ticket on a completely empty interstate at 10:40 at night, traveling through a state almost to the state where I was going to go to sleep that night in my nice van that I just bought. Anyway, this isn't about me. It's about something else. So, my playlist. I should be in the shot. I tested this. Actually, I think my head should be right at the top of the shot, right about here, I think. So I should be good right here. My playlist is, it really is, it's enough on YouTube to basically indict the entire global system, but at least enough to show to anybody that is still a voter, thinking that this system is righteous, you know, that it's, you know, that we have the right to run around and do what we do to the world as a nation or a government. Actually, it's not the people of the United States doing all this heinous shit there, right? Can we all agree on that? So anyway, so in my playlist, I mean, if you've been in my playlist, you know that there's like, it's kind of daunting. I mean, it's hard, you know, if you're looking for something to shock you, I would say that, you know, the children abused category is got plenty. If you're looking for, for esoteric type information, there's some of that in there. If you're looking for Bible studies or scrutiny, I'll say that's in there. And look, I just want to say something for all the Christians. If you're a Christian and you're a subscriber, look, my subscriber, this is the way I see my subscribers. I mean, like I said, this is like my 6th or 7th channel, and I really do. It kind of touches my heart. It really does that 139 people so far have decided to, hey, I'll subscribe and, you know, and pay attention to this guy. So, and I'm not even from around here. So all my subscribers are here, pretty much. There might be a couple somewhere else, you know, but I mean, for the most part, the only people seeing my content are around here. But my point is this. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. But if you go to the, I'll tell you this. Let me just go ahead and say this. Sorry, I'm gonna have to be careful about how I say it. There's a woman that lives here in Tennessee, and her name is Kathy O'Brien, and she is a real, actual, and shame on you if you were to ever run across her and just dismiss her and talk and say nasty things about her, because I know for a fact she's not lying about what she talks about. She lives right here in Tennessee. There's a video of her in the children abused category in my playlist where she, if you go, it's probably, just guessing, I'd say it's probably 75% of the way, 75 to 80% of the way toward the bottom of that whole category. All right, it's going to be one of the bigger categories out of my whole playlist. It's going to be a thumbnail. It's probably got her name in the title. You can probably just look for her name and scroll down. Or I'll give you this tip. In general, on most categories, except for a couple, you would generally, if you want to take a chance that you can just run across some of the biggest bombshell stuff that's in my playlist, you could go to the bottom of the playlist and work your way up, or just go up a little bit from the bottom and work your way up a little bit, and just kind of look at the titles. But you could get to Kathy pretty easily by doing that. Just go to the bottom and work your way up. She's going to be closer to the bottom. But basically, it's a thumbnail, and it's a pretty blonde lady. She's got long blonde hair. I think it's kind of like kind of tied and split into 3 sections or something. But you can tell it by the thumbnail. It's kind of an old picture that is the thumbnail. And I think there's like tan lattice work behind her. And where she's speaking at is she's speaking at what's called the Grenada Forum. And there's other speeches and talks. Bill Cooper, I believe, at the Grenada Forum, and other people like that spoke at this Grenada Forum. Now I hadn't looked into what, I don't know. Okay, I didn't bother to look into what the Grenada Forum, whether the, you know, I know, you know, the word, and I don't even know historical. I'm probably a dumbass for not knowing. It's got something to do with something that I'm not thinking of right now. Doesn't matter. She's speaking in that. I think she's looking to the left as you see the thumbnail. No, she's looking slightly to the right, I think, and her mouth is open and she's talking. Did you find that? That's Cathy O'Brien, and I'm guessing that's around 1980, 1980 or 80. No. This would be around 87 or 8 or 9, I guess. Yeah, it would have to be, because she's talking about what happened in like 81, 82, 83, 84, 85. So, yeah, or somewhere in that range of her experience being literally the movie with Denzel, Manchurian Candidate. Now, do you think that your government isn't capable of doing something like that? Most people that have never heard of something like that their government participated in something like that, it would kind of send a tinge up somebody's spine to have to consider it, right? Correct? No, she was rescued by an FBI agent by the name of Mark Phillips, who she ended up marrying. And if I'm not mistaken, unfortunately, I think I only heard it one time and from one place. Unfortunately, I think he has passed. But she and her daughter were both part of the M&M K Ultra Bag. You see what I'm saying? It's coded in there. And her daughter was held by this state from her and mom, who had to go fight in legal court and everything to get her daughter back from this state, because her daughter had been through that program using more modern, shall we say, technology that was harder to deprogram. Mark deprogrammed Cathy. He went and picked her up. I want to say it was in Wisconsin or Minnesota, maybe, the ranch. And he went and picked them up and then went and got their animals. She'll tell the story. Go watch that video. But prepare yourself. If you're, this is not pleasant stuff to look at, which is one of the things that keeps it very, unfortunately, that intelligence level sayings like conspiracy theory. A lot of people don't know where that came from. You know where it came from? It came from all the people going, hey, something stinks about this Kennedy assassination. That it just all of a sudden conspiracy theory. Okay, get it? See, they sit in those smoky rooms and they come up with stuff like that, right? Kennedy. If you haven't read or heard the Kennedy speech on secret societies and not went to sleep after you heard the first section that's about secret societies and then realized that the end is also about secret societies and it hits even harder. And it may have been, who knows, there's a slight chance that could have been the straw, in my opinion, the straw that broke the camel's back that got himself off, right? But anyway, yeah, Cathy O'Brien. I think there might be 3 or 4 different ones of her in there. I like that the one that I'm pointing you to is the one that is really, for me, the bombshell. This is, and it's real. It's real. I mean, you can't. And it's ugly. So another thing. I mentioned the tip of going to the bottom. Okay, fine. Now, the category fraudulent courts. that is 90% of that's going to be Justinian deception, I believe, down in Australia. Romley and his friend. Sorry, Romley's friend. I can't remember your name. And I gotta admit, I like Romley. Romley is a guitar player. I'm a guitar player. No, I'm sorry. Romley, cool. Anyway, but yeah, Justinian deception. Now, there was a psyop, and I think I might go ahead, I was thinking about this today, I might go ahead and go to this channel, or the couple of channels this guy has, that is basically a psyop. Kind of like Alex Jones on steroids, like really pushing it to try to reel people in and get involved with it and get them hooked, like possibly in some legal terms, into it. War Castles, or Russell J. Gould, that had me duped for, I think I was probably duped by him for about 15 months before I was like, oh wait a minute, yeah, if you think there aren't intelligence psychological operations that go on, no, the whole society is a psychological operation, to be honest with you. Another person that I would like to mention, and then this is pretty much going to be the end of the video. I don't want it to be too long. It's kind of cool to do this though, like this. I thought of this back a few months ago, and I was like, well, yeah, I don't need a stand and gimbal. I can put myself on the video. I probably need to build a nose. I'm going to build a nose. Are y'all standing there watching a big old drip hanging off my nose? I really don't give a shit, to be honest with you. Let me, hold on. So, the other huge individual, I don't want to push one, there would be 3 of them I would be mentioning to you right now, but I'm going to mention a bunch actually in a minute, hold on. But, in my opinion, my humble opinion, one of the biggest people that's being ignored globally, and he is important globally, not just here in the United States, not just for the Western nations, not just, it's a global importance this man has. Why? Because he is a Caucasian man that was born and raised in a multi-generational family that was living in South Africa. He's about my age, Homie Ross, Homie Sean Ross. Homie Ross has like 4 channels, I believe. Gure, spelled 2 different ways. It's actually an acronym, so you can put it in all capital letters, Giureh, or you can put it in capital Giureh. I think either one pulls up like a choice between both of those. You know, the two channels that are spelled in 2 different ways. One of them is actually lowercase, I believe. It's really the only 2 channels I think you can pull up that way of his. They took one of them down and recently put it back up, and it was, but he's using both of them. I just found out he's using both of them because he just came back. He was gone for like 8 or 9 months. But Sean Ross is about my age. He grew up in South Africa. They had, apparently back then, that you do the same thing there that Israel does. You have to join the military. Jeez. Okay. All right, we all got to get militarized and traumatized and freaking pushed to the brink and freaking easier to manipulate. Is that how that works? Yep. Sure. I didn't tell anybody that. Did I say that out loud? All right, hold on. Now, so that doesn't have much to do with it, other than the fact that while he was doing that, he was also going to college and studying specifically military history, or he was studying that within the military down there in South Africa. But he loved it, and he started studying military history, and he ended up basically later on, which starts the pertinent part of his story. He ends up in Switzerland. Why does he end up in Switzerland? Well, he comes to the conclusion through his military history studies and everything, and a bunch of other stuff that's going on in real time, constantly, which he ends up coming through if you go look at his stuff. That location where those local banks was where the root of all of our problems come from. And he was exposing them. He was doing exposing the connection, in my opinion, of them through history, the different masks that they wear, their covert methods, which is a word that Kennedy used in that speech I just mentioned, yeah, they're very resourceful because they've got all the actual money on the planet, which is all gold and silver. They've captured it. We'll get into that in another video that I'm going to do. That has to do with real money and economics and global banking. Sorry. But anyway, by the way, the moss right here in between the little bricks that are out here is pretty kind of cool. I love the fluorescent green, or that kind of deep green, and then occasionally fluorescent in the moss. You know what I'm saying? Love it. Green stuff. Back to nature. You know they've separated it from nature. That's another video I'm doing. I lost my damn train of thought. Where was I? Y'all remind me. Damn it, I can't do live. See, that's how y'all can help my brain dead ass. What was I talking about? Oh, Sean Ross. Alright, so he goes to Switzerland. Right? So he goes to Switzerland and he moves his wife. He's got I think at that time he only had the 2 boys. I think their 2 boys are the oldest, and then he's got 2 girls. So now he's got 2 girls and 1 boy. Why has he got, you say he had 2 boys? Yes, he had 2 boys. Why? You want me to tell you? This man is all in my playlist. You want me to tell you why? Because in Switzerland, they took his son. One of his sons. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. I know you wouldn't spend any of your precious time looking into that, would you? Would you lie? Oh yeah, they took his son. I don't know what year. Forgive me, Sean, if you end up watching this, because he and I have chatted in comments while I had a couple of different other channel names, which is an honor that was right up there in my personal opinion. It is an honor that I spoke to that man in comments. I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you can. So, a couple of times. Anyway, so Sean Ross went on starting. I'm just got to take a stab at it. Around 2007, 2008. No. 2006, somewhere 2006, 2008, somewhere in there, maybe 2005. I don't know. He started marching all over Europe, hitchhiking. They had also, by the way, put him in a political prison. He goes over that in some of his videos. He actually goes back and films the prison that they put him in and talks about it, where it's kind of partial oxygen deprivation, which is something that's not talked about as far as torture techniques and everything, but you know, these people that run in the world and everything, they know all these kinds of ways to kind of make life hell for people if they want to. But he was locked up for about like a year. He said that they did certain types of torture to him. But he ended up leaving Switzerland. They had to leave his family there for a while. I think he's moved them out of there. I'm hoping they're in France where he is now. I don't know if he's in France. I got no clue where he's at now, because when he disappeared about 9 months ago, he was in the toilet. He was pissed off and he was in the toilet of a fucking a French bathroom. A graveyard bathroom in France. A French graveyard bathroom. He was pissed, and that was the last thing. He just disappeared. I was like, 3 or 4 weeks later, I was like, oh shit, he's gone again. I love you, Sean. But yeah, no, these are good people, and what you can learn from that man right there. Oh my God! You think that they designed this shit overnight? Like nothing existed. You know, forget about all the kings and queens and all the shit over there in fucking Europe. You know, hello Monty Python and making fun of that shit with the arts. Shout out to and you know, you know, this whole thing has always been about greed. But Sean Ross, yeah, you want to talk about somebody huge. There's Whitney Webb interviews. If you go looking at Whitney Webb stuff and start popping up in your feed in YouTube, you're gonna start getting a bunch of weird name channels that are basically stealing her clips of her shit in interviews she does because she doesn't have a YouTube channel. And you're gonna be sitting there watching Whitney Webb shit where they're just taking clips. And I've seen videos of theirs because I was suspicious. And then Whitney talked about it in an interview that was an actual interview with Whitney Webb, where she talks about how they're doing this shit. They'll go and they'll take clips of her videos and her interviews, and they'll twist it. They'll twist what she's saying because they'll take a clip from one video where she's talking about one thing, and then or maybe it's a similar subject, but they'll twist it. The actual Whitney Webb videos, I doubt even one of those kind of videos of Whitney Webb that has anything to do with Whitney Webb made it in my playlist. There's Whitney Webb interviews all through the place. There's Whitney Webb and Nick Bryant in an interview. Do you know who Nick Bryant is? Nick Bryant is the other superhero Godzilla King Kong motherfucker in the room on the protect government systemic, long-time government systemic protection of child sexual abuse and trafficking. Nick Bryant. He has that right there is his YouTube channel. You don't have to go to my playlist if you don't want to. I'm just saying my playlist is a resource. So, you know, that's it. You know, I would like to, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna say this or not. I kind of, well, might as well. I'll spell it out. How's that? What is the potential for my channel? What could it possibly be? Well, considering what I know about psychological warfare and how it's waged in ways that are easy to find and ways that are not easy to find, ways that are easy to admit and ways that are not easy to admit, you know, I would just add, you know, really look at the word govern or to govern or government. It has to do with control. To control the mind, to control perception, to control the society and those being ruled. So we have to get back to basics and think about these things, because this you know, this isn't this stuff doesn't have to happen. These good people that come here that want to work aren't endangering all of you people that have conservative. You know, if it's really rooted in real conservatism and liberty, which are supposed to be married together, you know, people's rights, the Constitution. You know, some of the people that have been, you know, shooting me birds while I'm out on the street and everything don't realize, you know, that, you know, and they probably even know some stuff about the Constitution and at least state a correct stance on things from time to time. Don't realize I'm standing up for the Constitution. That's all I'm trying to do. You know, and the whole cop thing, I you know, I don't want to. This is what I want to do right here. You know, is just point people to the light. You know, knowledge, the knowledge and the light. The light and the knowledge can set you free. Turning away from the light, even if that light is dark. How's that? Does that work? Even if that light is dark, it is your civic duty, for God's sake, to look at it. Your civic duty, think about that. how can you be so judgmental of someone that is a human being, that is a complex thinking human, and you want to pigeonhole them into some stereotype that's been programmed into your brain by freaking blonde-headed bimbos at Fox News that are basically overpaid strippers? Come on, don't do that. You're losing your honor. You're losing your honor. Or you've actually lost it. We've all lost it. Actually, that's what America needs to do, is turn and face. Turn and face the fact that you need to repent. I don't care. Don't attach a God's name to it or anything. You need to repent. Just think about that word. You need to repent. So, there you go. Anyway, I think I'm done. There's some scary stuff, y'all. I've been, by the way, y'all, subs, love y'all. This is a participatory channel, by the way. Y'all can ask me questions, you know, and stuff like that. You know, I mean, obviously, y'all know I'm walking around with freaking cardboard signs, pissing people off. You know, I got plenty of time, right? Yeah, but this is, you know, y'all can chime in and ask me about stuff. If there's something you want to look to see if I've got anything on it in the playlist, ask me. You know, go to my latest video, comment, ask, whatever. You know, please. Oh, I almost forgot. Please, right here at the end. Look, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm gonna say it. Here you go. All right, ready? Somebody mark it on the calendar. I'm gonna say it. You know what it is, right? You know what it is? Please like and subscribe. For real, I mean really. Actually tell as many people as you can about this channel. It's not going to be impressive with the tech and shit, but you're talking about learning some stuff. Don't underestimate us good Southern people and our mental capabilities. We have mistakes. And we're willing to admit when our ancestors, if applicable, have made mistakes. Okay. But yeah, this is the most important thing. Well, that I was thinking just not. No, what I just said was much more important. What I'm going back to. Look, go to my posts. For God's sake, nobody goes to my posts. When you go to my channel, you see videos, and then you see shorts, and then you see what? Playlists, and then you see what? You see posts. I have posts. Please go and view the post, or don't view it and just give it a like, maybe. I think I'm the only one there might be one other person. I think Tennessee Accountability looks at a couple of my posts. I've added like 2 or 3 posts here recently, and I'm getting better at it. I'm going to try to use the posts. See, I weaponize everything, but my weapon is knowledge and facts. Okay, this channel is a warfare platform. Do you hear me? WOREFARE platform. Okay. No, seriously, I want us all free. And if you stick around and watch this channel, you're gonna find out that we actually agree on a lot more shit than you could imagine if you just hang around and listen. I'm sorry. I was voting for Donald Trump. Well, no, I didn't vote either time. I certainly wouldn't have voted this time. The first time I would have voted if I was going to vote, if I thought it mattered, which is why I didn't go vote. But that's a smart segment of society, actually. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end it. I will probably, was there anything else I wanted to add? No, go to the post, go check the posts out. There's some cool posts. I think there's a poem or something I wrote that's in there. I think it's kind of cool. Somebody that's a better poet than I am, or lyric writer, song writer, and stuff, might be able to go in there and correct it. Cool. I thought it kind of ended up with kind of cool. But there's some stuff in there. Go check it out, like it, you know, If you want to, I think you can share those posts too. I think the last one I put on there was like 10 screenshots. And by the way, I don't know what the hell it is. Uh, the I know my screenshot, it's got lines on it. I don't know. I don't know. This phone's been this phone's been in 15. Well, it's been in whatever it got down to that one night, about 28 or 29 or 25 with the wind on it. With a little bit of moisture beforehand. I think I have my phone sitting out. I don't know if it messed the screen up. I hope it didn't. But anyway, peace everybody. I'll be putting out some stuff, some more stuff here, and kind of just trying to act like a teacher and do a class on stuff that pretty much all of it's going to be stuff that you can go and verify in my playlist. So my playlist is a tool. This channel is about real freedom, real justice, using real facts, real logic, and reason. I may do a whole video on the word reason. So I don't shake your head around. Why would we do a video about the word reason? I don't know. I might not. Who knows? Peace, y'all. I'm going to end it right there. Thanks.